All right. I apologize for being a few moments late. Of course, today will be the day that I get a call from work and actually have to log in and do some work prior to me being able to get on a live stream. So, unfortunately, the light's a bit harsh and you're out in the garage, you're propped up on the pickup truck. Let me try and say hi. So, we got Jeff, Mr. Hockett, Jeff from Out of Order Barbecue, Mr. Hockett, da 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 da. All right. Mr. Hockett, Jonathan Hicks, Mr. Hockett, Jimmy from Cuff and Stuff. I gotta say thank you very much again. Unfortunately, tonight, Jimmy, I am going to be cooking all night long, and I have learned from previous failed attempts at cooking while being drunk that it does not work. It does not go together. That being said, I am not really able to do that. Tom, how you doing this evening? Andrew, I am here. It just took me a moment. I'm telling you guys, it really has been a crazy last about half an hour. I got everything seasoned and ready to come out here. I was planning to come out to the garage at 8:30, get the smoker set up. So all I would have to do when I came out here was light the fire and get going. But no, I have to unpack the smoker. There's Bessie there. I have to unpack the smoker. Not only do I have to unpack the smoker, we got to get water in it. We got to get a fire burning in it. So, yeah. All right. Kevin, Jonathan Hicks, Ernest Fitzpatrick. Let's see. Noobs Barbecue. Kent, Daddy Dutch. Not yet. Well, I'm trying to get at it. Tony, what's going on? Hennessy Lewis, Quester J. Doug Williams, Brock Stewart. Jester's World. How you doing? Tremel Green, how are you, sir? The Rich Flavor. All right. Eric from Baracho Barbecue. Que te pasa? Chris Van Nata. Hello, sir. You too? Oh my gosh, I'm already sweating and I haven't even begun. Oh man. Everybody. Yes, it is still hot here. It is like 85 degrees currently. Can you do the Pit Boss charcoal pellet? If I can get some of those pellets, I mean, you feel free to send them or reach out to Pit Boss and have them send some, but I can't buy what I can't buy. Point blank. Greg Jones, how you doing? Narlands fan for life. Mr. Hockett, yes, I made it. Thank goodness. I'm telling you, it's been crazy. This whole afternoon, evening. I mean, not to bore you, not for nothing, but my evening transpired as this. I was on my way home from work. Actually, I got an email from the person who I'm going to be doing the food for tomorrow. I got an email from that person. It came this weird message, and I was going to call her back a little later. She called me, just so happened to call me on my way home. She's like, hey, are we all set for tomorrow? I'm like, yes, we sure are. Wait, what? Tomorrow? Oh. So when she contacted me about two events. One event on a Thursday, one event on a Tuesday. I thought the event was going to be next Tuesday, and then the following Thursday. So I'm all discombobulated. But everything is good. Everything was taken care of. Everything is all paid up. She's paid in full. So I went shopping this afternoon. It took me a little longer than I would have liked to, but I got all of the things that I needed. I ended up getting 2 briskets, a unit of pork shoulder, 1 pack of baby back ribs, and then I had to go to Sam's and get some chicken. And then I'm doing a couple sides, but you know, yada, yada, yada. All right, so Jay's Bracken Barbecue, what's going on? It's 80 plus degrees currently. Like, can you see the sweat glistening off of my wrist? And I didn't even start working and moving stuff around yet. I need to find something to put on my head because it's going to be dripping down my face in a second. I got some serious moving and shaking around to do. So let's see. Thanks for charcoal. The brisket turned out great. Andrew R., great to hear that. That's usually got me started in the competition. Now I'm headed to the World Championship this weekend. News. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, thank you. Man, congratulate. Can we take a moment and congratulate Noobs Barbecue and More? That is so what's up. Luke Alamadas, long time no talk to. Smoking Bears, how you doing? Sam Strip went just. Oh yeah, damn. I see what you did there. I talked to Lou on my way into Sam's, so he knows that I was going to Sam's. Twin Eats, what's going on? I'm trying to say hi to everybody because I'm getting ready to start working. And once I start working, it's not going to be much of me being able to talk to you guys. So I'm going to try to move the camera back as far as possible. And let's see here. Try to move the camera back as far as possible so you can see what I have going on. First things first, I got to move the trailer. Next thing after moving the trailer, and I'm going to apologize now, I'm going to have to kind of like do work in batches and then come back to the comments. So try to keep yourselves entertained. But I'll show you my process if that's what you want to call this. And I'll try to talk pretty loudly throughout this whole time so you can hear and know what I'm doing. But the first thing is I need to move the trailer to make room for Bessie to come back over here. There's a huge spider web over here. Accompanied by a huge spider. I think it's, for lack of a better word, huge. Y'all want to see the spider? Whoa! Whew. I got a glove on. It's all balled up there. But it's a huge spider. All right, Mr. Spider, you're going outside. All right, hopefully the spider survived. Okay, so now, next thing, let's see. Everybody saying hi and what's up? That's what's up. I'm gonna try to move you guys around so that you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But and again, I do apologize. I was supposed to have all of this taken care of, but unfortunately, work got in the way. My first pig turned out amazing. It's not that I don't like it, I just don't eat it. Fantasy barbecue, what's going on, man? It's been a while. I'm no celebrity, Lou. Alright, so 46 of you guys on the live stream. If you haven't already, please do hit that the like button, thumbs up, please. Grill Sergeant, how are you, sir? Yeah, you know why I was able to grab the spider? I have gloves on, so that's what it is. New Orleans, oh shoot, smoke a spider. No, sir. Let's see, it's a barbecue spider. I had 3 in this place. All right, so now I have to get Bessie, who's way back there, out. And boy, hopefully you guys can still see me. I think you can see me. And I'll try to keep talking as I'm doing this. The reason why I'm using Bessie is not for nothing. I just haven't used her, and I feel like it's a year almost. And I kind of missed her. So we're going to pull Bessie out and get to cooking with Bessie. So those of you guys who've been asking about the 5-foot grill, the 5-foot grill has a name that will be released tomorrow. The video where I named the grill will be released tomorrow. Gosh. About Bessie is she rolls with no issue. Let me come back and check the comments. Yep, Eric. Thank you very much, Noob. Good luck to you, sir. Nick, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. Let's see. Good night, Nick. Happy birthday, Nick. I don't think I got to say it earlier today in the Survivor chat. Anybody need a workout? Come to Vicky. She's a big girl. That's what we call slim thick. Thing is messed up first. You guys can't see it, but all of these charcoal that kind of hits the floor, falls out of the bags and such, is on the floor. So every now and again, especially when I move everything, I scrape it all up and sweep it all out if I can find my dustpan. Oh boy, this is typical. So firewood I have tonight is going to be a mix of oak and whatever else was thrown in there. When I get to that point, I'll point out anything I can discern. Yeah, barbecue is no way easy. No way easy. Crap, where's my dustpan? Alright, screw it. I'm not spending any more time looking for a dustpan. We just get the shovel. And I could do this later, but I see it and it's bothering me. And I try to clean up as I go along, whenever possible. There are other times I'm like, screw it, I'll clean it up later, and then later becomes 2 or 3 weeks. So, we shall see. I don't even know what the condition inside of Bessie looks like right now. I haven't used her in quite some time. But here's all the ash that was on the floor. And it really wasn't all that much, all things considered. All right, let's go, girl. Trying to clear up some of the spider webs here. Come on, girl. All right. Again, clearing out some of these spider webs here. You guys know the smokestack. And this is a little portable tabletop grill. got to deal with some rust. And that's nothing that a little fire can't take care of. But these cobwebs are bugging me. There's a big divot in the floor here. All right, let's check. Let's see. Yeah. Bessie had a baby cooker. All right, let's see. No, I'm not cooking already yet. I'm trying to get Bessie set up. I know, Mr. Hockett. Trust me, I'm aware. There's room for plenty more smokers back there. Well, I have a plan to, in a few weeks, what I'm going to do is make some shelving all along the back of the wall and get some of this stuff, a lot of the stuff that my wife has just kind of thrown out to the garage and it's become a dumping area. I want to get that stuff kind of up on the shelves, and that'll free up space down here, and I'll have more room for more smokers. Like I need any more smokers. Right. Yes. So now, because of the fact that I have the trailer, you guys are sitting on something on the trailer. I can't move the smoker as far down as I would like to, but I'm gonna try. All right, look at that. Now we're talking. Get it lined up in front of the window. Get the chalk down. Push it up, move anywhere. All right. Next thing, we get the smokestack put up and out the window. All right. That's done. Okay, now I figure I'll move you guys to behind me so you can see what's going on. All right, let's see. Thanks. Rich Flavor says, dash the incredible Hulk of barbecue. Oh, man. No, sir. Yes! They are hinges. Good eye, Rich. Let's show you. Switch the camera. All right, so Kirk, the original builder, he used some brake rotors. He cut them in half, has hinges, and you guys see, Bessie can use a paint job. All right, she's been sitting in a corner, and there is a fair amount of moisture back here or in here, and yeah, so again, something else on the back burner is to sand her down and get her repainted. Yeah, Jack, I imagine he's in a little riding. Let's see, I'm trying to get caught up. I'm filming a video myself and have to go on the PlayStation. All right. Time and chain gears. Those are sprockets. These are sprockets from a motorcycle, and I believe this is a cam or like an oil gear, like some sort of gear from an oiling system. It is another 275 gallon smoker, but that one is a reverse. Oh no, that one is a offset firebox. I'm not drinking anything this evening, Riley, because of the fact that I am going to be cooking all night long, and I need to stay awake. Barbecue spiders. All right, so let's see. Somebody said hello from New Jersey. Beer and smoke. How you doing? No adult beverage at this point. If I do take an adult beverage or have an adult beverage, it'll probably just be like a single, I won't say a single beer, but I know better, which is the problem. I know that when I am cooking, I need not be drinking. How about this? Ask me how I know. All right, so you guys can see fairly well. I'm gonna get this pointed down just a little bit so you can see the entire. All right, you guys can see the whole smoker, right? All right, so now first things first, it's opened up, and I know you guys want to see inside, so I don't even know why I set you over there. Hopefully you guys can see. Give me a second. All right, here we go. All right, so let's show you guys inside of Bessie here. So this is what I'm saying. This is fairly clean. This is cleaned out. So as soon as I get the fire going, and I will come in here and I'll scrape all of the surface rust off and out. What this basically is I didn't spray it down. I didn't oil it down well enough for it not to have gotten some surface rust on it while she sat in a corner. So at this point, first thing I got to do, I'm going to move this bottom rack up to the top rack, and I'm going to start getting the water going. Once I finish getting the water going, I got to probably clean out the firebox. Whoa. Let's just do this. Where's my scraper? There it is. I had to get a new scraper. My old one broke. All right, so now I'm going to scrape. Ow! Crap! I just nicked my fingers. Golly, that hurt. Oh. So in case you can't or haven't figured it out, I broke up the rust down at the bottom of the smoker there. And now the next step is we're going to get it sucked out of there. No sense in that dirt junk staying down in there. Let's get it out. this is why I wear gloves, because that was just me getting, you know, oh gosh, I hate getting my hands dirty, especially when I have to do stuff like touch my phone. All right, so let's see here. Okay, no adult beverage. Smokers B, can't wait to have a big smoker. Jay, trust me, don't rush it. Coffee with a little whiskey. Tom, I might have to do that. Bring her, oh, not retirement. She's just been off in the corner. She's been chilling. You know what? As much as I run Bessie or had run Bessie in the past, she deserves a vacation, some time off. She said, let the young whippersnappers dude put in work. She's spoken without. Well, fantasy barbecue, I'm telling you, there are times when the beer in hand can be detrimental, especially when you're cooking for other folks. And I'm trying to hurry up. Yeah, thanks, Tom. I keep the filter clean. That's why it sucks so bad. Yeah. Bart, how are you doing this evening? I never wear gloves. I always put on gloves. I hate getting my hands dirty because I touch too much stuff. And as I'm moving around, I hate having to stop. Like right now, I really want to go in the house and wash my hands and then get some gloves on. But anyway, next step is water. So we need to get some water into the smoker. And what did I do with the connector? Oh, the connector is on the pressure washer. Holy hell, there's a big ass spider right there. Alright. Connector off the pressure washer. Onto the hose. I'm sorry guys, I gotta walk back up to the house. I was unaware the water was turned off. Well, you guys will know when I get the hose turned back on. Make sure the end is closed. I'll be right back. I figured I'll do this. Before I go up to the house to turn the water on, I'm gonna get the firebox started, or the fire started, so you guys will at least have something to watch and look at while I am going to turn the water on. I do think I'm going to have to clean it out first, because, I don't know, I did a fairly decent job of cleaning it out. I'll put some light over here. So hopefully you guys can see down in there a little better. A riser. Of course. All right, so for the bottom layer, I'm going for longer, straighter splits. But the whole thing is, the cart right now is currently full of the odd pieces that came when I got wood last. So it's just going to be full of odd pieces, which is one of the main reasons why I'm getting this smoker started, to burn up these odd pieces so that I can have some more straight pieces for when I'm using the smaller smokers at my disposal, as opposed to having to go and get them from the wood pile, I'll have some in the garage. All right. At this point, fire. And I'm gonna let that hang over there for a moment or so. And let's check the comments. Let's see here. Oh. Look. It's still going upside down. Alright. Yes, I do wipe the grill down with oil at some point. I'm trying to catch up to the comments. Give me a second. Bart Warner, how you doing? Samuel, hello from Birmingham. I do wipe the grill down. It's just I haven't used this in quite a while. It's been probably 6 or 8 months, if not longer. I like to remove. Sorry, put it completely. Okay. Talking about a smoker, I guess. Yeah, well. I would never put WD-40 on a grill like this. I would put cooking oil, not WD-40. Yep, it will be like the old log. Doc, how you doing? I am beat already. All right, so you guys can see what's going on. I have the. It doesn't sound happy. Oh, freezing up here. All right. I took my glasses off, so I can't. I see I'm still in frame, I think. Now, to be completely honest, I would have liked to put more wood in here and have it a little more packed or compact. Let me see if you guys can see down in there okay. Let's turn this a little bit that way. So you see I do actually have a fire going, but the fire is going a little more on top of the fire. I want it a little further down. I'm going to try to get some of these pieces down at the bottom lit so that the fire will light from the bottom up and not from the top down. Alright, almost there. We're pretty good. I just want this thing raging before I go ahead and go up to the house and turn the water on. But I'll leave you guys to watch this while I do that. Now also, as you can see, I have the cook chamber door open, and that's to help draft and draw the heat and smoke out of the smoker. All right. So now you guys are gonna, oh, you can't see. Let me move you guys back a little bit and then up a little bit. And you can see just how smoky it gets in here, hopefully. And you can still watch the fire go. I'm gonna go head up to the house. I'll be right back. got water going into the smoker and there's none on the floor. So let's try to catch up on the comments really quickly. All right, let's see here. Doc, how you doing this evening? The odd pieces, they can be a pain, Tom, I tell you. Preston AO, how you doing this evening? Eric says I missed the smoker. Brisket grease, that's a pretty good idea, Eric. Richard, Catonsville checking in. So tonight I have to cook. I have, it was a 15-pound brisket, a 16-pound brisket, so what, 32 pounds of brisket. I have 3 racks of baby back ribs. I have 20 pounds of pork and about 14 pounds of chicken. I think that's it. Brisket, pork, chicken, ribs. Yeah. And then tomorrow, I have to make some beans. And I have to make some, well, I gotta doctor up some potato salad. I am buying charcoal just to start the wood. Yeah, Preston, it's so much easier. You saw how easy that was. And here's the next thing, right? Because I got that fire raging, you see all of the smoke is gone. There's no more smoke. It is a clean burning fire. And that took all of 5 minutes, if that. Salute from the 410. Preston, approach is very handy. Yes, indeed. This is a South Park episode. Not a coincidence, but the last time you used Bessie, it was cold. Yes, absolutely correct. And it is freaking burning up. I'm trying to make sure the hose doesn't burn up. Speaking of burning up. Now I know someone's going to ask, the water capacity in here is about 15 gallons. And when I get back over there, I'll check the comments. But what I'm going to do is, because of the fact that I have not cooked in Bessie in such a long time, I'm going to get the fire raging. I'm going to get the temperature raging, and we're going to clean her out just like you would an oven, like self-clean, on self-clean. I'm going to put the hose up higher so I don't have to worry about it melting or burning. Oh. Wipe the sweat out of my eyes. And we're good on water for right now. Because once I start trying to clean out the smoker, oh, you can't see me. Once I start trying to clean out the smoker, I'm going to be adding a little more water to clean out the smoker. So at this point, I can take a little bit of a breather. And I'm going to get some more wood in the firebox if I can cram it in there. So like I said, we can get the fire rolling. Rolling. So far, how are you guys? Are you guys enjoying this? You liking this? You not liking this? Answer in the comments, and I'll try to, obviously reply when I can. So I've had people ask about stuff like this. What do you do about mushrooms or things like that? I put them into the fire very carefully. I've had people ask about ants before. What do you do about ants? And my reply is they burn. So, I just get it in the fire. Now the firebox is pretty full because of the fact that these are odd pieces of wood. I'm looking for some smaller stuff. And I'll chuck in the bark at this point too. There's some bark pieces here. I just don't want anything to fall back on me. But we'll get it in there. Now the fire is probably going to get dirty because of the fact that I'm putting this, especially this bark in here. But if you just put a little bit in at a time, you'll be fine. Alright, that's good for now. There's some smaller pieces too. learned my lesson from sticking my arm in too far into Bessie. I had a nice size burn on my arm, so I know better. But the fire is going, and let's move the cart out of the way. And you guys want to see a little closer to the fire or what? Whew. Can you see me? All right, let's see here. Let me try to catch up. This out of hand. Holy cow, there's 72 of you guys on a live stream. Yeah, the RC car back there. There it is. It was a model of my Isuzu Amigo. I own my house. Yep, stupid hot and steam clean. You're absolutely right, Preston. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I'd appreciate it. Mr. Hockett says he loves this. All right. So I guess while I read the comments, stand here, but it is hella hot right here. I'm cooking brisket, pork shoulder, baby back ribs, and chicken. Enjoying from Arizona, about an hour away. I'm going great, Rome. I'm great. Len, how you doing? I'm sorry, I'm kind of bent over holding this phone. Nope, Jamel, not really. But he says, is there a big difference in cooking pork or beef besides the timing? Not really, in my opinion. One thing about pork though, you cannot mess it up. You can mess up beef. What am I used to make? Washington, Texas. Well, thank you very much for checking in. Joining from Cali. Yep, I'll be cooking quite a ways. 30 miles down P entry for a friend. You remove the wood for him. Does your water box extend over top the firebox? No. So the whole thing is, and I'm trying to get into perspective, so I'm looking at it on an even plane here. All right, this is the end of the tank, and so that is the end of the tank. The firebox is built onto the end of the tank, and there's like a crescent moon cut out of the bottom. In the bottom of the pan, the water pan, there's a V that coincides with the end of the tank. And then Kirk put, I guess that's like a 6-inch space on the other end for the water to come up and out. So you can see the water right now is a little rusty, but it's not moldy, which is great. And you see also the steam is starting to come up because the fire is raging. I'm going to go ahead and close that door. And, whew, oh, it's hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the door closed and we'll get some heat. Now I told you, so you see we have a little bit of dirty smoke there. That smoke is because of the wood that I added. And I don't know if you can hear it over the crickets, but I can hear it. The wood is hissing and the water is also starting to boil. Cooking 2 butts tomorrow for a restaurant. Big Reggie Reg. I didn't get to check your video out yet. I hadn't been able to sit still and watch it, but I'm looking forward to seeing the first video from your weekend or whatever it was called. I don't remember what it was called. You'll have to forgive me. All right, so now we have our firebox closed off, and we'll get the bottom rack back down. So you guys can see the temperature here. This one's already showing 2¼ and this one's showing 275. It don't take long for it to get up to temperature, especially when you have the fire going all caps rage there. But love this thing. Love this thing. Me and Bessie go way back. So she always does me right. Who says that? Pat says, this is more interesting than drinking and talking. Let's see. Brian Brown, I don't think I said hi to you. Jamal Wilkins, how you doing? You doing any trips to North Carolina? If so, let me know. You need some good brisket, I guess. I have 275 gallon tank. Starting building it soon. Well, awesome, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. How much water can you put in the water pan? I think I answered that. 14 gallons, about 15 gallons. Let's say I used to smoke it like this for years, but put a gallon of water in it. Now, a gallon of water will, if it's warm enough in there, a gallon of water is not going to do anything. This 14 gallons of water in here will last me probably about 8 hours before I need to put some more water in it. I'll be able to tell because the temperatures will start to skyrocket just because there is the water acts as the heat sink. Yes, 90 degrees in Baltimore. Agreed. So reverse flow under the water box. Exactly. So the heat and smoke are generated over here, and I'm trying to look through the comments. They're generated over here. They come underneath, under here. So the heat and smoke come under here, exit over here, come into the cook chamber, and then the exhaust is over on this side, and it goes up and out of the back. So this is definitely a reverse flow smoker. No. Yeah, I know. Barbecue some crickets too while I'm at it, huh? Maybe if I just keep telling them I'm gonna barbecue them. Samuel's favorite meat to cook. I am very particular of salmon at this point. Between salmon and lamb, because honestly, they are very fast cooks and they taste great, phenomenal even, smoked. Jim Stevens, who else is in? Oh, I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. Catonsville is just where the P.O. box is. So I'm just inside of the city limits by Catonsville. So, but yeah, I'm in Baltimore City, but I'm like 8-10 blocks from Baltimore County. And where I am close to is Catonsville, Maryland. How efficient is she? Not very, Eric. That's one of the downsides, which is why I've been using Vicky and Bernadette, because they are way more efficient and also burn charcoal. But the thing is, I have a cart full of basically, I was going to say misfit toys, but odds and end pieces, like the pieces with notch or the pieces with splits in them and things like that, that don't stack very well on the wood pile. So I want to get rid of these so that I can start putting the wood that will stack into the cart a lot easier, and I'll be able to get more of it into and onto the cart and use it a lot more efficiently. How do you tell when the brisket is done? When it's done, it'll tell you. You can feel it. You can temper it to get close, and then you have to feel it. Why do you have your pit enclosed in the shop? It's not enclosed, so it's just closed in, but I mean, it's inside because of the weather, the elements, and I don't want anybody to take it, but it is not closed. I mean, I am inside of a fairly huge, this garage bay is 25 feet wide by 50 feet deep. It's not, by no means is it enclosed. And the ceiling up here, the rafters basically are, I think they're 12 feet rafters. So, and the garage door is open, and there's a big old hole over there. Obviously, you can see that there. There's another air gap on the top of the window that's on the other side there. It's really not enclosed. Trust me. This space does not hold temperature at all. All right. Did you tell the fire department you were? I did not tell the fire department I was cooking. But you know what? If I start a fire after the sun goes down, usually I'm okay. But what I'll probably end up having to do is call them in the morning when the sun is getting ready to come back up. Good question, Question J. Do I prefer apple, hickory, maple, or pecan? So here's the thing, Jamil. I actually have a frequently asked questions about, or FAQ video about wood and the type of wood that I use. And the whole thing is I prefer whatever my arborist brings me. I can tell you that what's most prominent in this area is oak, okay? Probably 85 to 90% of the wood that he brings me is oak. Every now and again, I'll get some cherry, I'll get some mulberry. It all depends on, because of the fact that I'm using so much of it, if I were to ask specifically for a fruit wood, it would cost me $50 to $100 more per cord for a specific type of fruit wood. So I don't even go there. If he gives me some apple or some cherry or something like that, then more power to him. But to be completely honest, I throw whatever, whatever burns in there except for pine. Yeah, anything else but pine. Yep. Exactly. So, Mr. Hockett said, and I actually have 2 tanks sitting on the back of my pickup truck that you're propped on now. I had 2 tanks sitting outside of the garages, and yeah, no, I've had them. They were taken while I was on vacation at one point. I've had, um, I've had a propane tank with one of the torches, the torch that I used to fire up the picanha. I had that taken off the side of my house. I mean, I live in Baltimore City. Not that it's the worst city in the world. Not that I live in the worst section of the city. But, I mean, I'm not trying to give folks my stuff. I spent way too much money and I worked too hard. So that's why it's inside the garage. Tracy Carter, how you doing? I'm about to prep some butts. Perfect. What do you prefer, barbecue brisket or pit beef? Brisket. I'm not from Baltimore. I mean, I like pit beef, but it's not barbecue to me. That's grilling. Is it better cooking with a water pan? I think Big Pete. I prefer to cook with water. What happens is the water will help even out your temperatures, and you won't have such ebbs and flow when it comes to your temperature. Now, as we're sitting here talking, I've kind of let this run away, and you guys see that, right? Now, I can open up the door and we can get the temperature up even higher. But I'm not trying to kill Bessie here. And you see just how even the temperature is between the left and the right. She's awesome. Awesome. Well, Brian, that's what's up. Yeah. The Question J, so Mr. Hockett, so the whole thing is with that video, it was during the day, and that was why the fire department was notified. Even though actually what ended up happening that day, I called the fire department and let them know I was going to be cooking, but the first shift didn't alert. You hear the wood falling over there? The first shift didn't alert the second shift, and someone called it in, and no one told the other shift to not worry about it. Because I did call. All right, so at this point, let's get the pressure washer up and running. Oh, hell. Big old spider behind the electric socket there. All right, let me get you guys in a better position to see everything that's going on here. All right, you should be able to see everything. Hopefully you guys can hear that hissing. And hopefully you also can hear the water boiling down in the smoker. I don't know what you can hear over that daggone cricket. I'm realizing that cricket is way louder than it should be. Probably means the cricket is inside the garage. Just when I thought the cricket had shut up. Alright. So current temperature inside of the smoker is 400 degrees. Now I don't know about you, but every time I open up the smoker, before I open up that door and that heat and the smoke comes out, I take a breath so that I don't get hit by the heat and the smoke that come out of there. Oh, snap. Crap. I can't make this up. What the hell? The quick connect decided to unconnect itself. Alright, let's move this back further. Maybe not. At least I'm a little cooler now. Try this again. Not my night. It's not my night. Oh gosh. Oh. Put this over here. This is the stuff you don't see on camera. This is the stuff that gets edited out for the most part. This is the stuff that really happens though. Oh, gosh. All right, scene 1, take 6. The heat and the smoke are coming out of there. Pretty amazing. It is hot. I think I've said that already a time or two. All right. So at this point, oh my gosh, I'm hot. All right, let's see. Let's catch up. That's what you doing. Other job. I work in computers. 72 watching, 33 likes. Come on, please, and thank you in advance. First, I'm just cleaning in the pits, bro. The process is amazing. Well, Gerald, thank you. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, please, and thank you, Quester J. Also, Preston, I appreciate you. Tools, man, it's sad at the same time. Yes, indeed. I have made, I made 2 smokers. They're here. It's a bit of a mess in this corner here. But that's number, one of them is number 1 and one is number 2. There are drums there. All right, let's see. Palm wood is too much sap in it. Yeah, it's a softwood and you can't use it for cooking. I wouldn't even put it in a fireplace because the oils and stuff like that, if your fireplace has any problems, you could have problems too. Yep, here we go. Thank you, Preston. He already nailed it already. He says resin turns to creosote. Creosote tastes as good as a light pole. See. That's not funny. I know you're talking about me, the hose messing up on me. I know that's not funny. Yes, Gary, we have all been there. Safety third. Uh-huh. I see you. I'm not arresting the smoker. I'm doing a live cook. I am cooking right now. Well, I'm getting ready to. Thank you very much, Eric. Jamel says he just brought his first offset. I don't know, some cooking. Time for a drink. Jack Hall says, hey, hey, hey. Thank you, Jamel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we gave the smoker a few minutes to kind of settle back down. At this point, you know what time it is. So it's time to get the smoker loaded. Now my process for loading the smoker is pretty simple. I get some foil and put some foil on the tray here because, oh, you know what? Before I do that, I want to show you guys inside the smoker so you can see what it looks like after it's been cleaned. Where's the light? Where's the light? What'd I do with the light? Oh, here it is. Now, now you guys remember what it looked like before, where that was all rusty? And you see, basically, that's all clean metal now. And anytime and every time you start cooking, that's what the inside of your smoker should look like, nice and clean. Nice and clean. The spots in which you see, you know, it's lighter than others are where I cooked last. The spots that are dark are where I sprayed oil in here one time, or the last couple times I oiled it down, and have not had any food on them to remove the non-stickiness, as you will, like a non-stick skillet. This is the easiest way to compare how this works out. All right, so let's see. Golly, something on my arm. All right, let's try to get you guys. Whoop, that's not the right way. There's the right way. I do Preston, it's in the house. I work with computers, Ernest. I answered that already, I thought. Time for more butter, baby. Yeah, buddy. Time to get the smoker loaded up. I like you doing it live, but it would be better if you had a remote microscope. A remote microscope for what? Red's Barbecue. What's going on, man? How you doing? So no, Jack. It is good to. So what I normally do is I spray the smoker down. I try to spray the smoker down in between cooks, or if I know I'm not going to be using it in a while. But the problem was the last time I used Bessie, I just kind of put her away, put her off to the side so I could use Bernadette or Vicky, and I didn't think it was going to be 8 months or so before I used it next. So that's why. Uh, I try to clean out the smokers after every cook as well. That's why Bessie was actually as clean as she was, because before I put her away, I did clean her out. I just didn't spray it down. I have a can of Pam out here, but the top is messed up. So that's why it wasn't done. Uh, First time caller, long time listener. Well, Red, I appreciate that, man. I really do. Thank you, sir. All right. So I told you first things first was me getting the foil down on the, and I'm sorry you guys are crooked. I can't stand it. Let me try to level you guys out. Up and up. Look at that. That's better. That's better. That's better. Still not 100%. I'm using the hood off of a truck here, and it's concave. Convex. A1C, last time I had it checked, it was at 7.0. That was a few weeks ago. But I did go on vacation this past weekend, and it was like, I'm on vacation. One of those vacations. It was just 2 days. I unfortunately did not take my medicine, and, yeah. I'm back on top of it, though. I took it on Friday morning, but I didn't take it on Saturday morning. I didn't take it on Sunday morning. All right, let's get this show on the road. If you guys know me by now, you know that I always load up the chicken. Come on, why are you guys not level anymore? What happened here? I always load up the chicken and the beef first. Or I try to. Alright, so you can see my... Oh, goodness gracious, what happened here? Alright, so I load up the beef and the chicken first and then the pork. So I'm going to load up. Let's move the chicken. Want to get it up on deck. I need a glove because well, probably not. I've had the shelf open. Not too bad. All right, brisket time. One of these is a 15-pound brisket. The other is a 16-pound brisket. I do not remember which is which, unfortunately. But, into the pool. Now I'm double checking to make sure that I have the fat cat side up. I actually prefer to cook with the fat cat side up. And all right, move that back just a little bit. Next up, chicken. These are boneless, skinless thighs. What I'm doing here is when I season them, I open them up. When I put them in the smoker, I ball them up a little bit so that to help them not cook so fast, because especially I have some boneless, skinless breasts, and the boneless, skinless breasts are as big as they are, and they will cook how they going to cook. And if I thin the chicken thighs out, they'll be done in like an hour. Yeah. So I'm just going to arrange these, tightly pack them here. I'm kind of rolling them up. Again, from them being, I just had a whole bunch of seasoning on it. I'm trying to kind of roll it up there and make it like into a little muffin almost. It just helps them cook a little more evenly, in my opinion. And if you get a little straggler piece of chicken, I just put it inside of one of the thighs and let it cook. It'll be all right. See, like that little piece of chicken dangling right there? I'm going to fold it up and put it inside. And one more. Got that done. Chicken thighs are on. Chicken breasts, same deal. Just going to put them evenly, and I'm going to alternate them so they can get in here as tightly as possible. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I really didn't know what to expect as far as folks who would actually watch, if they would or would not, but I'm glad that some of you guys are. All right, so I have my brisket up here. I have my chicken over here. Next thing we have to take care of is the pork. I have 3 racks of baby back ribs. Not really pressed about how these go on there. I have plenty of room in the smoker. I am going to squish them up just a little bit though. Just personal preference. And I have 2 pork shoulders. And then I can sit down. Up. Feel like something's biting me on my arm. So, one of the things I try to do while I'm out here still is I try to get some water into the containers, the busboy pans that I brought the food out in. So it makes it easier for me to wash these when I get in the house. Alright. So this is the only one I really had to worry about because the other one I actually put foil in. I'll show you that in a second. Alright, because of the coloring of the seasoning, it's far easier for me to put foil into the pan as opposed to dealing with a stained pan. So we keep it clean. Yes, I go through a lot of foil. But to be completely honest, dealing with going through foil was way easier than dealing with having to get stains out of those busboy pans from red seasoning. All right, so there's the chicken up top, brisket up top, pork shoulder, and baby back rib. All right, so let's get this closed up. And close up. All right. So as you guys know and saw, I had the fire. We had the the grill or smoker open for quite a while, loading up the food. So at this point, I'm going to have to add more wood. Hopefully I can get my wet hands down into these gloves. I can get more wood added to the fire. And then we're going to go hang out by the door where it's cooler. And hopefully I'll get to catch up on comments and answer any questions you guys have from what you've seen so far. But that's it. At this point, give it a couple hours, monitor the temperatures, and easy peasy, we'll have smoked meat. Alright, so our fire looks pretty good. Hopefully you can see down in there. It's definitely hot as the dickens. Now, because I'm adding wood, and here's some bark pieces too, the smoke is going to thicken up a bit. But that'll be alright. It's not going to be there for long. Come on. Get in the fire. Whew. Hot, hot, hot. So I have a lot of these chunky pieces, and I'm trying to get them in there to help the fire, maintain the fire for a while. And that's 4 pieces. That's more than enough. Now the next thing I need to do is get my intakes closed off a bit. Get the intakes closed off, get the wood put in, and then this fire will sit at between 250 degrees and 275 degrees inside the smoker. So at this point, it's time for me to take these gloves off for a second. I'm gonna get the thermometer fired up here. Hopefully the batteries aren't dead. And I think they are. Ooh, hot. Yep, batteries are dead. The problem with this sender is you have to unscrew the little back plate to get it off. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to use another sending unit. Alright, so we got our receiver for temperature. Perfect. Alright, so temperature inside the smoker showing 300 degrees on this side, 300 degrees on that side. I know that the camera's a little far away. You can't see it just yet. So now, you're probably asking yourself, how do I get it down to temperature? Open up the smoker. Opening up the smoker is going to be the easiest way you can produce heat inside the smoker. If the heat can't build up inside the smoker, then the temperature goes down. The reason why it's so hot in here is because I let that fire just rage and I didn't dampen it. So now that I put the dampener in, or I close the dampener off, the temperature will come down, and yeah, it'll come down. So the temperature where the probe is, let's see, it's showing 282 degrees. And so you see it's coming down. There's 261. Let's go ahead. I don't want it to get to a temperature deficit. But, so we got 244. Temperature dropped under 240, 250 rather. I have an alarm set for 250 degrees. All right, time for me to go over to the garage door where it's cooler. And I'm just gonna apologize now. The light over here, well, if I do it like this, it'll probably be okay. Yeah, look at that. Would you look at that? Okay. I am way far behind on comments. So just bear with me as I try to catch up, all right? All right, 1024. Let's see. All right. I'm trying to find out where I left off. All right, so Ernest asked a good question about the A1C. I remember answering that one. Mr. Hacker says it looks level. Microphone, and we're back. Sorry. No, pork on the bottom, chicken and beef on the top. Let's see. The meat is on. All right. I hit my high temperature. I'm gonna just kind of watch and see what it does. Inside the smoker currently set 300 degrees. I'm gonna let the smoker just chill. Red, thank you very much, man, for hanging out. I appreciate it. I know you probably are gone by now and won't see that comment. I am about 15 minutes behind on the comments. Jeez. How do you keep the skinless chicken from being tough on the outside? You don't cook the hell out of it. You have to keep the temperature down, Brian. Hopefully you are still here. And Tramel says, watching and learning. I like to smoke mine in the butter bath. In the pan with butter and garlic for about 45 minutes, and then smoke on the grate for another 45 minutes. Well, Jack, I just let it hang out on the grate, man. How long are you gonna stay alive? No, Handyman, not gonna be able to. Handyman, do I know you in person? I know I have a friend who goes by Handy Andy, and I keep meaning to ask you, and I like forget to do that. So just wondering, you know, do I know you in real life? In RL, do I know who you are? Just tell me, because if so, I would have seen you this weekend. Dreamed about having that much space to cook and to need to have that much space. And I tell you what, I remember the first time I cooked in it, I'm like, I'll never need more room. And then I got a big enough job, and I was like, yo, I add another grate. Well, thank you guys for saying I'm a great teacher. Ray Mac, how you doing this evening, man? Been a while since I've seen you on a live stream. This is, goodness. I have briskets, pork shoulder, chicken, and ribs. South Florida. Well, Gary Davis, thank you very much for checking in. I appreciate it. Normally on the live streams, during the first hour of the live stream, I talk about a specific topic, and obviously my topics must have been boring to you, sir, because you've never been here before. But this week, I didn't have a topic, plus I kind of last minute realized I had to do a cook, so I figured I would combine the two, and, you know, I'm not going to be doing this the whole live stream, but we'll probably go for longer than the regular 2 hours, seeing as how it's been an hour and a half already, and I just put the food into the smoker. So I am going to monitor the temperatures here. They were boneless, skinless thighs and breasts. What is the high temperature setting on my Maverick? I currently have mine set to 300 degrees. Currently have mine set to 300, but you see the temperature's at 324. So at this point, I am going to choke off the fire a little bit. Jack Hawes, he's YouTube certified. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. These are my intakes. I'm going to choke that down. And what I normally say is they're like, I count the diamonds on the expanded. So there's 1.5 there, and there's half of one there. And I'm going to just let the smoker do what it needs to do. I'm not going to open up the temperature because I don't want to have to keep having it to fight to recover. I'm just going to let it go high for a little bit, and it will settle in, and then I will control the temperature via the wood that I put into the smoker. Space Ghost, how you doing from San Diego? Brian Brown, all right. When you do a brisket fat setup, do you ever get extra crunchy bottom on the fat just to indicate the heat got too high? Yes. What is it? GW Landing? Yes. So that was how I knew that Bernadette was burning things, and why I call her Bernadette, because the first time I put a brisket into Bernadette, she burned the hell out of it. How much for a smoker like Bessie? I couldn't tell you. I can tell you that it's going to probably cost you upwards of probably between $3,500 and $7,500, depending on who you get to build it for you. This smoker is not going anywhere, and the builder of this smoker is not making any more of them. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. It not only makes me feel better about myself and doing these live streams, it really does help the channel and help this video. All right. Well, thank you very much, Ray Mac, man. I appreciate that. Gary Davis, never born, my friend. Always good stuff. Well, thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. I did not build Bessie. Bessie was built by Kirk. All of the big smokers I have, Bessie, Vicky, and Bernadette, were built by Kirk from Front Royal, or he lives down in Front Royal, Virginia. It is a oil heat storage, or oil heat tank, or excuse me, an oil fuel tank. Yes, Eric. Yes. No problem. John, no problem. Yes. All right. So you guys have any other questions? It seems like I'm caught up on the comments and can answer questions live while we are waiting for... Yep, and the temperature's already starting to go down in Bessie. So this is what I tell you guys. Let the smoker do what it's going to do. All I did was choke off the intake, and now the temperature's sitting at 302. Once it settles in, and that wood that I threw in there, that extra wood, it starts to burn off, I'll just throw 1 or 2 splits in as opposed to 4. That's probably why we had such a high increase in temperature. What's the cabinet above the firebox? It is a warming box. Harry Nutsack, how you doing, sir? It's been a minute. How much wood do you usually go through on a cabinet style smoker, say for a 6-hour cook? So I don't actually use wood for the wood cabinet or the cabinet style smokers. They use charcoal, so I'll use all of 2 splits that's it. On the cabinet smokers. My joy of cooking. How are you doing this evening? I'm trying to get the camera stable here so I can hold it in one hand and read comments with the other. Jack, I appreciate that. Jack Hall says he liked to subscribe and he recommends me all the time. My joy of cooking, I think I said hello, but if I didn't, hello to you. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Do you still have a smoker like Bessie? If so, would it be possible to sell that one? Yes, it would be. Let's see. She's back there. That is, what we call that one, Priscilla. I just haven't had the motivation to work on it, so that's why she's chilling over there. Jay, you'd be surprised. It is possible to mess up brisket. Smokers will burn in a charcoal or burn a smoker. Ernest, so a lot of times the person who builds it has it designed to cook with a certain type of fuel. The Bernadette and Vicky were both designed to cook with wood, but from cooking with wood, they don't breathe efficiently. So using charcoal, there's something on my arm here, sorry. Using charcoal was the much better option, and I've been using charcoal ever since. Bessie, on the other hand, she breathes as well as like a newborn child with fresh lungs. I mean, it's crazy. So temperatures dropped to 291 in there. And again, I'm just going to let the temperature, let it settle in. And then once the temperature gets to about 200 and probably about 260 degrees, I'll start adding wood to maintain the temperature. I want it to bounce from like 245, 250 up to 265, back to 245, 250 up to 265. I do like that how fast or low and slow. Low and slow. I mean, I said before, but on a 12-hour cook, how much wood do you think you use? I do not know. What happens is, so the reason why I'm doing this cook, to be completely honest with you, is a lot of the knots and splits and you know, things like that were on that little cart, and I'm tired of looking at them because I can't use them in Vicky or Bernadette. So I'm trying to get them out, and I have to use them by burning them through the wood burning smoker. So that's the reason why I'm using the wood burning smoker tonight. Just because I don't want to have to keep going up to the wood pile to pick wood. Once these jagged edges and the odd cuts and the odd pieces are burnt up, I can fill that with regular splits, and I'll usually go through one cart, maybe 1.5 carts, depending on exactly how long or what I'm cooking. But typically one cart. Question J says, get your SDSBBQ shirts and stickers here at BRBQUE.com. Thank you very much. I watched enough of you vids. I think I can fail. Jay, you might be right. You might be right. Dash likes to get stuff in the mail. Oh, man, I sure do. Question J says, Dash likes to get stuff in the mail. Send him a care package at Still Doing Smokers Barbecue, P.O. Box 3236, Catonsville, Maryland, 21228. Dude, you are the bestest ever. Low and slow makes the belly grow. Well, I can't deny that. Definitely can't deny that. Oh, man. Sweat in my eyes. Look, I'm sweating through my shirt. All right. So the temperature in the smoker currently is 286 degrees. This is what I'm talking about. The temperature was much higher, and as opposed to fiddling with it, I opened up the smoker one time, let the heat out, and then I closed the inlet. Closing the inlet is obviously going to reduce the amount of fire that can get in there. Reducing the fire will in turn reduce the temperature, and the meat will soak up a lot of that temperature. Now, before it gets too low, that's when I'll add another piece or two of wood. And then once I get my inlets, you know, squared away, then I'll just keep adding wood to it. But you got to find that sweet spot. Which is my favorite smoker? Bernadette and I have the longest history aside from the drums. I've cooked way more on Bernadette than I have on any of the drums, Bernadette or Vicky. So she's the favorite because she's the, I won't say she's the easiest to cook on, but we vibe. We definitely vibe. I don't know about all their chunks aside from if I ordered them online, Mr. Hockett. You have any tuning plates in the cabinet smokers, and how do they configure it? If so, GW Lanning. So in Vicky, there is no sort of tuning plate. There is just a piece of metal on the side, and Vicky is a, let's show you. So there's Vicky. Vicky is a reverse flow smoker. The heat and smoke come up down here, and then the firebox is down here. The heat and smoke travel up the smoker on the side, exit out the top, and then go back down into the smoker, into the exhaust, and then back out. So she's reverse flow. Bernadette back there is also reverse flow. Bernadette is modeled after Bessie, but uses charcoal. And I do have do use a tuning plate more or less in Bernadette, and that's just because the heat and the smoke that come out of the one side is so intense that it just burns everything. So, and then also the heat need to be spread left to right because of the intense heat that's coming out. And so I use the tuning plates, but I haven't figured it out. I haven't gotten it quite 100% yet. Well, Mr. Hackett, I appreciate that. Betty says, where is the water to drink? I don't have any currently. I'm getting ready to go back inside and get something to drink. But I wanted to make sure I answered you guys' questions. It's been, 2 hours, and I have plenty of sweat to sweat. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I got moisture to get rid of, and it's not that hot. That's why I'm sitting out by the door. It's cooler over here. Trust me. But thank you very much, Betty. And I'm sorry, Betty. I did not say hi to you earlier. Hi, Betty. What's up, Jack? What did I name the new flat grill? You will have to wait until tomorrow. Yeah. But it's not something you would expect. It's out of the box. And I gave my reasoning behind it. All right. 50 of you guys here. If you haven't said hi and I haven't acknowledged you in the live stream, please do so in the comments. Just say hi. I'll make sure to say hi. I would love to say hi to you. And if you tell me if this is your first live stream of mine you caught or are catching. But I am, I think this has worked out really well. I cannot guarantee you that when or if I have to do another cook, I will do it live, because this is adding an extra element to this cook. All right, so now my smoker seems like she's settled in at 284 degrees. Now, what I'm not going to do is fiddle with it. I'm okay with it being 284 degrees right now, because guess what? The temperature is going to drop down. So once the temperature starts to drop down, and I thought it was dropping down now. Once the temperature starts to drop down, that's when I will let it fall down probably another 20 degrees. Then I'll start adding wood, and I'll leave the intakes alone. I'll leave the exhaust alone. Everything is, left alone. And the only thing I'm doing to modulate the temperature is the addition of wood. Let's see, Eric, what you have to say? Nope, Eric, you got to wait till tomorrow. If I tell you what it is. Wildlife Case, how you doing? Brian Brown, I think I said hi to you earlier, or at least you asked a question. So, Helen Jordan, hello. Yes, Jimbo, you're absolutely correct. I, too, am glad to see Kirk back on social media. Kirk, he has his moments where he's a private person. And sometimes he just wants to be private, and other times he's like, you know what, I want to share this. This ratio, I like this ratio better. 51 watching, but 66 likes. 52 watching now, Mr. Hockett. I got a friend saying, all right, really enjoying the variations of all your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Chris. I tell you what, I try to add a little bit of variety because I get bored of doing the same exact thing. I tell you guys, I told you guys before, I really only cook the same about 6 or 7 things. And there's only so many different ways I can cook the same 6 or 7 things, especially when it comes to catering. So you figure like this: salmon, lamb, brisket, pork shoulder, chicken, that's 5, chicken wings, 7, beef ribs, 8. I said lamb. I did a boneless leg of lamb, or bone-in leg of lamb, so that's 8. Let's see, can we get to 10? What else have I cooked? Name something else I've smoked. I've smoked cheese. There's 9. And then the things that I cook, the various things that I cook for dinner for my wife and family. I won't say I cooked pork belly. I didn't really smoke that though. I have done tri-tips. The problem is, I can't get them. They're not readily available in my area, Eric. Thank you for info, insight. Much appreciated. Have a good night. Man, respect. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. Chandra Sam. Well, thank you very much. Hello to you too. From Baltimore to you in Memphis. I've been cooking a lot of stuff. You're absolutely right. Mr. Hockett, the halal brisket was still brisket. I'm just, I'm not going to count that one as a difference. Because truth be told, I've cooked halal briskets in the past when I picked up a halal brisket by mistake. It's just never highlighted it. And I highlighted that video because I was looking specifically for a halal brisket for someone. And when I looked, because I couldn't find it at my local restaurant depot to look to see if I could find one, I was surprised that so many people questioned how to cook them. Eric's funny. Grilled cheese. Yep, you got to get up in the morning and start my drive. I'm out here pushing this big rig, so y'all be blessed. Thank you very much, Ernest, for hanging out. You ever danced with the devil in the pale? It's the pale moonlight, man. Get the quote right. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? I thought it was pale. Am I wrong? Is it full moonlight or pale moonlight? I always thought it was pale moonlight. Williams doesn't name this first time. I asked that of all his praying. When are we going to do another collaboration? Eric, man. Dude, here's the problem with doing collaborations. My timetable is thrown off. The video you were about to see tomorrow was filmed 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the problem is I have other things that pop up and I'll put a video in front of one that's filmed, or I just don't feel like filming. Like last week, I did not film anything. Did I film? No, I didn't film anything fresh, and I didn't even put out a video on Thursday. And the reason being was because I just had something else going on. Then the video on Tuesday was of the running of the bananas down in Ocean City, so that threw things off because that was just from this past weekend, and that jumped in line ahead of the other videos that I had already in the can. So I won't say I don't like doing collaborations, but my timetable just does not allow for me to I mean, even with like a month's notice, there are times when I cannot, or I'm not able to film for 2 or 3 weeks and at all, and then I'll film for 5 days straight. And me filming for 5 days straight will give me 2.5 weeks worth of videos. And it doesn't even have to be 5 days like every afternoon. It could be like a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Saturday. And on Saturdays, I can do multiple cooks. Yeah, I thought it was Pale Moonlight too. Oh, yeah. GW Landing, you're right. There's 10. I do smoke turkeys for Thanksgiving. You're absolutely correct. Thank you very much. Brandon, thank you very much for hanging out. Peace is Pale Moonlight. Yeah, peace. I wish, man. Not the way my job is set up. Enjoy. Thank you very much, Smoking Goodness. I do get the point, Kent. Movie quotes are a thing for me. They have to be said correctly. What was my last vacation? My last vacation was going down to Ocean City and hanging out with my car friends doing hood rat stuff with said car friends. This is sauce and the grilled cheese. Those little guys need a boost. I understand, man. Chrome lights in my beard. No. So I have oil in the beard, and it's gray hairs. Yeah. But I have LEDs in the garage, and it's pretty bright. Nope. Beam, I have not. He said, have I ever smoked wild game like deer, hog, quail, or dove? I have not. Deer is very lean, and I'm afraid of it. Hog, never had any wild hog. No quail, no dove. What I miss cooking with CJ. Can I start over? Dog, I done had to wrestle to get the smoker out. I wrestled with the pressure washer. I didn't have to wrestle so much with getting the smoker started, but I got the smoker started, got the food in the smoker, and you're gonna have to go back and watch the review, man. It was interesting. I'd tell you to skip to about the half an hour mark when I was cleaning out the smoker and getting the fire started. But let's see. Who is this CJ chick in the chat? Oh, boy. Smoked elk and venison. Well, how'd it turn out, Kent? I know that number one. Cooking with CJ. I know that number one. Just read between the lines. Dude, I am kicking myself that I didn't leave any beer out here. It is so warm, but the light is great here, and I don't want to walk up to the house because it's just, the light is horrible. Nah. Oh, okay. He said it was good, just don't overcook it. Famous last words. Don't overcook it. I'll be completely honest with you, man. I am. Shoot, I don't want to mess it up. I know better. I'm squeezing the tripod here. All right, let's see. What else? What are the comments we have? No need be afraid. Yep, low and slow. All right, so the smoker. She's dialed in right now at 285 as shown. Go get a beer. I don't have any more beer in the house. I drank it all. Took it to Ocean City with me. So the probe is in here. And just so you can get a frame of reference of where the probe is in here, and the firebox is down here. So this is the hotter side of the smoker, the cook chamber. This is also, man, I wish if it were summertime, I'd still have a beer assistant, but you know, it is late and they are in bed for school. But because the water pan is sloped this way, the water evaporates from this side, so this piece gets a little warmer. Now you see the temperature in here. This side is a little hotter than this side, and that's because the fire is raring right now. Let me show you guys inside of the firebox really quickly. And yes, I have more wood in there than necessary. And gosh, it is warm. All right. So anybody have any questions while I'm standing right here at Bessie, I can answer for you. Yeah, you have no idea, Kent. It was definitely hot. All right. So now that I opened up the firebox, you see the temperature has risen. Okay. 288 in the firebox and 167 on the I have a probe sitting outside of on the shelf there. But just that fast, me opening up the door, letting air in, that's the beauty of Bessie here. She is very, very sensitive to air and the inlet, and yeah, I know better, so that's why I just let her be, let her do what she wants to do. And just like that, after closing the door, she settled right back in at 284 degrees, which is what she was sitting at when I got up. I'm out. Hey man, Rich, thank you very much. Handyman. So Handyman, do you live in Delaware? Where do you live, sir? I think I maybe wanted to ask you that. Out on the bike ride now. I have switched to you from the PlayStation to your phone. That's what's up, Rich. I appreciate you, man. There's an exhaust in the warming box. No, there is not an exhaust in the warming box. That's a very good question. So there is just, well, technically, the door on the warming box has two little rivet holes. It's just there was a piece of shelving that was used to create the door, and there's like two little bolt holes almost at the top. But I think they've kind of rusted shut. I've never actually used that warming box as a warming box. I think maybe once or twice. My video I was filming. Well, thank you very much, Rich. I will have to check it out in the morning or later tonight. You would think a guy with drums would know better. No better than what, Kent? Oh, I'm back and gone. Picked up the wife. Well, tell her I said hi. Hi, Mrs. Hicks. Good night from Brooklyn. Well, Douglas Williams, thank you very much, sir, for hanging out and popping on. I definitely appreciate you. Yo, I am dying. I need a fan out here. I had the fan that I had out here. I took it in the house because I was using it for something and never brought it back outside. I got a little portable fan I can bring out here, but I don't really want to be out here that long. I'm going to sit out here for, oh, temperature drop, 277. I said I'll let it get down to 265. Then I'll spread the fire around and get some more wood in there. Oh, yeah, I know. Kent, you're right. But I had to open the door to show you guys. Some of you guys have never seen it. Thank you very much, Preston. Keep your Cambro in mind. Where do I get my firewood from? I have an arborist. An arborist is the person who cuts down trees, and they do, you know, tree service. So I hit up a local guy, and you know, I let him know when I need wood. He brings wood, and I stack it up. You've probably seen a couple of those videos of me getting wood. If you haven't, look back on my channel. Definitely. Yeah. All right, guys. Goodness. So I feel like I missed a whole bunch. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's cool, Kent. I can dish it just as well as I can take it. Trust me. I got thick skin. You see how fat I am? Oh, and my voice still hasn't 100% recovered from this past weekend, as if you couldn't already tell. Golly. What do I do with my ash? There's a big pile of it spread out towards the end of the driveway here. But the ash from using wood is it's not minuscule, but it's not a lot. Wood burning fires do not produce that much ash. Usually it takes 2 or 3 cooks for me to have to really like clean it out, or it'll get to the point where it chokes it up. So yeah. Good marbling. Very, very true, Kent. It's power. Purchase a food truck or trailer yet? No, Harvey, I have not. I talked to you guys, and this is one of those things. When I filmed that video of me looking at that truck, I just knew it was going to open up a can of worms. And the reason being is because I really was going to look at the truck because I had never looked inside of a food truck to purchase before. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and that was simply a fact-finding mission. I have a lot more priorities I have to deal with first before I can do anything as far as getting into a food truck or a trailer. The main thing being the fact that my kids are still in private school and I need to maintain a steady stream of income. I'm gonna have to use that one, Kent. Marbling. I'm not fat. Very well marbled. And I'm about to step outside the garage. I have not stopped sweating yet. It's still rather warm in here. Anybody else have any questions? I wanted to let this live stream go a little longer, but if y'all get quiet, I gotta get quiet. I can't just keep talking on and on and on. All right. So the temperature on the shelf near where the probe is was at 165. That's why it is beeping there. And you see the other temperature is sitting at 273. Again, I'm gonna let it fall to 265, and then I will go ahead over and intervene. And when I say intervene, what I'll do is I'll spread that fire out, and then I'll get a couple more splits thrown on there, and then that temperature will sit steady, real steady. All right. Well, Rich, take your time, man. Edit. It's just about an old glass insulator I found and clean. That's what's up, Rich, man. You do some amazing stuff with the stuff. It's like you use what you have to just talk about it. And I like that, man. I dig that. It's different for me, at least. What has been my most difficult cook? Oh my gosh, man. One of the cooks where I messed up and didn't have enough food. Do you use oils on my beard, Roger? So I use a homemade beard balm. It is coconut oil. Sorry. I'm going to set this temperature a little higher so it'll stop beeping. One. Let's change the meat. Alright. It's probably still going to beep. I just changed it to turkey in 170 degrees since it's sitting at 165. Alright, let's see. I have never smoked eggs. I tried to smoke eggs once, but that video never came out. I was doing something else, and some of you guys, I don't know if you guys guessed it, but I told you guys the failure video, and that it was a video we were never going to speak of again, and I didn't until now. But yeah, I tried to smoke some eggs, and it did not work out at all. Most difficult cooks, again, are ones where I mess up and don't actually have enough food, or there was one time where I cooked enough food and I forgot one of the pans inside of a Cambro and it spoiled, and insert panic. Ever use an electric or propane smoker? No and no. No problem, William. I appreciate you hanging out and just listening. I don't know about a Baptist minister, but my grandfather was actually a Methodist pastor. minister, pastor. I don't know what the correct terminology is. Well, Kent, I'll take your word for it. I've been in business for a little under 3 years, and I custom built my own trailer. Have you tried jerk rib tips? No, I have not, Harvey. Rib tips are another thing, not that big in my area. It's one of those things where I don't know where you are geographically, but rib tips are bigger in certain places around the country than they are others. Me doing real barbecue around this area, getting people to really like brisket and pulled pork and chopped chicken or pulled chicken and ribs is hard enough as is. Excuse me. And then you want to throw in, not oddball, but less common pieces and cuts. Man, that's not going to fly around here. What brand of thermometer is that? I have a Thermo Pro. So Tramel, I also have a Thermo Pro. It's there's one sitting on the side of Priscilla over there. But this is an Ivation, which is a knockoff of Maverick. The model that you're going to want to look for actually is down in the description. I have a link to the what is it? I have a link to the long range thermometer on Amazon. Hey Lou, thank you very much. No problem. Definitely take care, sir. Good luck. We're traveling to Arkansas next week. And get cars. Stopping all the barbecue places. Well, just rub it in, Jack. Why don't you? Send rib tips in the Midwest from full sparrows. Cut down the St. Louis cut. Yeah. Not up here, man. Jerk beef brisket and pulled pork ribs. Never done pulled pork ribs. But I won't say I'm not a fan. The one brisket that I jerked, I did not like it. But that was a combination of the methodology in which I cooked it. I'm sorry. And what I cooked it on. So that was the issue with that right there. All right. So I thought that this live stream would go longer, but I mean, at this point, I'm kind of just waiting for so we're still 271 degrees in the smoker. And so if you guys want to see that, there's 271 and 165 on the thermometer that's not in the smoker. So, or the probe rather. But, you guys have any other questions or anything like that? We're starting to fall off. I guess it's not as exciting when I'm just sitting here watching the smoker. Everybody knows that this is what happens. All right, Jeff says he's listening. 20 full spares in my fridge as we speak. Getting ready to trim the St. Louis cut for Saturday. And then do you cook the rib tips for yourself, Kent, or what do you do with them? Do you sell them? I'm just curious. Yes, I own one. I own a Meadow Creek. Jack says vacation, moonshine. Do I want some? I would love some, I won't say I'm never going to turn down moonshine. But this is the one night that you're not seeing me drink it. I actually have some. But because of the fact that I need to be up all night doing this cook, I am not going to be drinking any of it. Trust me, it is very, very difficult to not drink any. But see me yawning? I'd have been yawning an hour sooner had I been drinking the moonshine. When cooking for your family, what is my favorite thing to grill, smoker to use? And what is your favorite thing to make? So Gunny Sergeant, you, sir, what is my favorite thing to grill or smoke? That would be picanha. And I've gotten to the point where I actually cook it via sous vide, and then I use the torch to just finish it off to sear it. Excuse me. And then for myself, that'd probably have to be like a ribeye steak or like a cowboy ribeye. But salmon is up there on the list, pretty high on the list. I talked about this earlier because it's a very quick cook. And so salmon is another one that's pretty high up on the list. Chicken wings are up there. So let's see. Put it on as a chance for an event I'm doing. All right, October 25th. That's what's up, Jeff. When did I start barbecuing? So I was always that guy on the grill. I won't say on the smoker, but I was always that guy on the grill kind of growing up. And as I got older, whenever we had functions at work or anything like that, I was always one to volunteer to get on the grill and cook. And then it kind of just progressed into me doing this barbecue thing. I went down to Texas and had some brisket, changed my life. I couldn't get it back in Baltimore. So it took me 7 years how to figure it out, and I got it right. And now that I have it right, I don't want to be wrong. Somebody that owns a bar in town. I cook for them on a staff party. Okay. Sorry, Kent. It's a long day for me. Oh, Jonathan. Oh, sorry so very much. Sorry. All right, Jack. I appreciate that. Capricorn, how you doing this evening? You missed all the fun part. Well, I don't know if you were here or not, but maybe you're just saying hi. Beam says his first brisket was horrible, man. My first brisket was barely edible, and I made soup from that brisket. And it took William 7 years to get it right. No BS. I wasn't cooking brisket every day. I would cook one maybe once a quarter, once every, couple months, because there was a point where I was getting brisket like every other weekend, like every time I got paid back then I used to get paid weekly, and it was almost every time I didn't have to make a carnode or something like that, I would get a brisket. And I was getting brisket flats at that point and didn't even know that there was a difference between a flat and a point. All I knew was it said brisket, and I was like, ooh, I'm buying it. So I bought those for quite a while and messed up a whole bunch of them. But there were some that were better than others. And then once I kind of got my seasoning down pat, then I worked on the technique. And then working on the technique is what drew me to use the steel drum. And I made a steel drum smoker. And the rest is, as they say, history. William says he did one that was like a rubber band. He hasn't done another one. All right, guys. So we are at 266 on the fire. All right, and let's show you guys what's going on. So 250, slightly over 250. I know that this probe here is slightly warmer than the thermometers up there. So I know that when it's showing about 265, there's 266. Okay, you see that? I will go ahead and get 2 splits thrown in there. And I'll get 2 splits thrown in, and I will, all right, let me get you put down here. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 2 splits. And because of the fact that I actually have all of these odd pieces, they're not going to be good looking splits. Let's use the more broken in pair of gloves. That'll hopefully get on my hands a little easier because they're more broken in. Can you see? Darn it. It's that time of night. I need to go ahead and get some wood in here and take a nap for an hour or so. Well, let's see what we can do here. All right, so my wood is really just gotten to a point where I'm going to go ahead and move this around and open up this bed of coals. So all of this wood that's down in the back here can get some catch as well. Now, I know my temperature is getting ready to skyrocket. Oh man, look how dirty I just got. Look how dirty I just got the handle here. Oh. And we're going to put one big piece of wood in there because I already know the temperature is going to go up. And there's my warning saying the temperature is too high. Let's see. Oh, nope. That's showing the thermometer over here. Let's move it up a little higher. Ooh. It is definitely 170 some odd degrees. That's for daggone sure. Alright, so now I'm showing 285 or 280 degrees in the cook chamber. And you see the thermometers have gone up just a little bit. And that is just because, oh, let's turn this. And that is just because of the fact that the, oh gosh, trying to get some cool air. That's just because of the fact that the door was open and I moved a lot of that wood around. Oh, can't call me Kimbo Slice. But the welding gloves offer, they don't give me as much feel, which is why I use those leather workman gloves. Oh, Jeff, what you waiting on? All right, Kent, thank you, sir. Baby Kimbo. I've never smoked goat. Yeah, buddy, Kent. She is definitely a big girl. But you know, it's funny. I think Vicky might weigh as much, if not more, than Bessie. But Bernadette tops them all. She is the big girl, for real. All right, guys. Look, I'm pretty spent. I'm going to go in the house and try to get a couple winks of shut eye. And I want to say thank you guys so very much again, as always, for hanging out and joining me on the live stream. Yes, big girls need love too. I love them. They know it. You know, Bessie, I tucked Bessie away, and she'd been sitting in the back for, shoot, 6-8 months, if not longer. And she came right off the bench like nothing ever happened. That's why me and Bessie get along so much. All right, Kent, thank you very much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it, man. I really do. Thank you. Everyone else, also, thank you. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and try to get some water, get some rest, get cool, and I'll keep my eye on the temperatures in the house. Hey, Jimmy, thank you very much again. Really appreciate you, sir. Really do. Harry Nutsack, thank you, sir, and have a great evening. Benny Sargent, thank you, sir, for watching. All right, guys, I am gone. Don't forget, check out tomorrow's video. We name the 5-foot on-site grill. Oh, my goodness. I'm not even going to comment, Kent.